You are listening to Vibrant Purposeful Living Radio with Lou Paradise. Tune in monthly with Lou and Dr. Pat on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Lou is an expert in pain management, educational health, and wellness, and the innovator of the leading pain relief cream, Topricin. Lou's passion is to help everyone experience positive solutions for life. Negatives are just positives waiting to happen. Awaken the vibrant life within you. Tune in today.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Oh my gosh, I have been waiting to have this conversation with my friend, my colleague, Lou Paradise. We are so thrilled to be launching Vibrant Purposeful Living Radio, but more importantly, the mission and the vision. Now, if you've heard me talk about Lou, as a matter of fact, you heard me talking about Lou the other day, but I don't think Lou heard me talking about Lou the other day. He's laughing. When I was at my worst and getting to be at my worst with pain in my body, and I was going to doctors and I was not getting any relief, somehow I came across this natural product. The product's name is Topricin. And behind that product, and we're going to talk about Topricin today, Topricin is one part of what I call the Lou Paradise Vibrant Purposeful Living story. And I found this. And all of a sudden, I start to talk to Lou and Aurora and everybody there. And I said, why doesn't the world know about this? Later on in the show, I want to share with you how this came into being for me, my life. But I want to share something else. What is it that we need to learn, all of us, about natural, holistic living, natural or holistic solutions? And you're going to learn this through Lou's story that has to do with vibrant, purposeful living. Lou, great to have you here. Thank you for joining me here. And I want to start with your story. And oh my gosh, congratulations. I am so loving this, what we're going to do together.
Well, thank you so much. As always, for me, it's such a pleasure to know you for many years, and for us to have this work that we're doing to change and transform people's lives from where they've been kind of stuck, what information didn't flow, what options they didn't have, the fact that they've been robbed, really, of the vibrant, purposeful living that they were born as part of your birthright, for goodness sakes. And we certainly want to be able to know that this platform is going to speak to many of the things that we know that not only have been challenges for people, but how we've helped people to get out of that mindset, get out of that funk, go on to live your life, kick up your heels, enjoy stuff, doing the stuff with the love that you love most with the people you love. And isn't that what everybody should be able to do?
And what I love about this too is that you all have been out in front of this for decades. Let's just start there. I just want to be really clear. A lot of conversation out there about opioids, and we're going to talk about that later in the show, because I think you and I have our opinion about that conversation. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, we're having conversations about healthcare, or very more importantly, lack of healthcare. And when you're in that situation, as I was, my body had never broken down. And then it did. And out of the universe comes you. Now, before we get there, you too had a crisis along the way. Mm-hmm. You're military, you've served, you've been in the battlefield, you've done all that, and then you come home. And other than, your sweet, amazing wife, you come home and you got some stuff. What was that like?
Well, the one thing for me, a lot of people that have been in the military, and God bless everybody who's served, because most people don't know what it's really like, especially being in a combat situation. Helicopter combat to medevac rescue missions, very arduous stuff. And we can go into talking about that. But I think that the reality for me is that life is precious. What the Vietnamese people taught me was that every single moment really counts. We all care about the same thing: family, who we are, what we're trying to do to be of value to each other. Keep it alive, for goodness sake. Keep the roof over the head, clothes on your back, food on the table, all of that stuff. So when I, got home after my military service and all of the things we did to rescue a whole bunch of folks and do some amazing work and stay alive, is my intuition and knowledge of physiology and natural medicine I didn't realize what a big part it was going to play in what it is that I was doing. And my attitude about everything was, wow, I've learned so much. I've learned that, look, healing is the most powerful thing we have. And by the solutions that we can make with people that are in pain, and why are we covering pain up, with over-the-counter pain medicines, analgesic products that only smell and they're greasy and hot and or cold, right? Every woman.
Oh my God! Can you imagine me with all that stuff on and going out there and playing table tennis with a lot of my Vietnamese friends?
Exactly.
I mean, putting a clothespin on their nose.
Exactly. The first thing a woman always wants to do when she's got a little bit of pain is go throw some menthol or some camphor on herself. Oh, really? Oh. Right? Or set your skin on fire with capsaicin-based products. Like, okay, so set your skin on the fire in order to get pain relief. It's like, I've got a headache. I don't know what to do with it. I've done everything I possibly can. So I guess I'm going to go over and get that ball peen hammer and hit myself in the foot with the hammer so it deflects me from my pain.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, right? Sounds like a real thing that we want to do. And so we find out that, the body's a miracle of healing is so profound. And I'm thinking, how in the world aren't we paying attention? If healing is the ultimate form of relieving pain, why in the world aren't we paying attention to supporting the healing process and thereby being able to provide something that is hey, look, we don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system. And as a direct result of people being over-medicated, the stats are nuts. 70% of the world of the scripted medicine that is taken, prescription medicine taken in the world, with 5% of the population living here, is taken here. 70% of all scripts written in the world. 90 plus of all of the quote unquote opiates, that other word that we want to talk about and drill down on. That's all nonsense. It's opiates and pain. There's a whole other thing going on there that we really need, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
why don't we go now? Like, I love what we're talking about because I'm a little concerned about this for several reasons, but I'm going to hold my thought till we get to that segment. I'm a little bit concerned about this legislation monitoring the doctor thing in the way they're thinking about it. Why? Because if you do it for opioids, what the heck is going to happen to natural medicine? Okay, all right. Conspiracy theory, I'll stop. Go ahead.
It's true. There's this great smoke screen, this smoke and mirrors thing going on, and it's typical of what's happening in legislation. No, don't deal. Let's make sure all of our people can afford all of our drugs, right, that we're putting out in the street. I mean, if nobody thinks that 70% of the stuff that are written in the world is consumed here, 90% of all of the our narcotic medication is consumed here. If we don't think there's something wrong with that picture, there's something wrong with legislation. So they use opiates for sure as this new form of heroin. Ultimately, and we would sit around the table with doctors saying, "Hey, why don't we just have patients coming in?" When we first started to do this, we had doctors that are really on board with it, and give them syringes and give them heroin and send them back out in the street. And they were like, "Well, what do you mean?" And the other doctors at the table say, "Well, isn't that what the heck we're doing?" But it isn't the doctors. Doctors are following scripted information based on a salesman coming in and saying, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'll give you a perfect example, and everybody can look this up." Purdue Pharma, who brought OxyContin into the marketplace, went to the FDA and said to them that this is one that you can manage. It's not as addictive. Patients can come on and off. It's like a dream compared to all the other narcotics. A year later, after everybody found out, including the FDA, that wasn't exactly true, with people dying from overdose right away, they sued they fined the company, FTC fined the company something like $634 million. And did it get it off the market and get it under a light to say, "Hey guys, what the heck are we doing?" No, it continued to flourish to the point where we have epidemic circumstances of the legal heroin, basically, out there in the marketplace. So we beat up on the doctors to distract the situation that we have big manufacturing companies that are sticking a whole bunch of this stuff out there where your doctor knows he can't prescribe. No. Your dentist certainly, right, is not going to prescribe. And where can we get this stuff? Anywhere you look.
On the street. And I think, and what I love about this is we're gonna talk more about this later, because underneath all of this, what'd you say? Smoke screen?
Smoke screen, smoke and mirrors.
Underneath all of this, is the story of you and I and what we learned.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a little touchstone conversation here about vibrant, purposeful living.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone out there that has been part of a healing journey that includes pain, right? And pain is emotional, it is mental, and it is physical. I'm talking about when Pat says pain, pain says like the whole spectrum of pain.
Right.
But anybody out there, I want to honor your journey right out of the gate, because up until 2004, April 1st of 2004, I did not have a healthy respect for people that said they were in pain. I really didn't. I mean, honestly, if Linda's dad was here now, Lou, oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh. And I can't believe I'm even saying this. I didn't have a healthy respect for it because I thought this man who was in so much pain for what I believe was a misdiagnosis of RA, I thought it was, all of us believe it was actually Lyme disease, couldn't get out of his chair. So all of us are saying, go cut the grass. You know, come on, we need you to do a woodworking job. You know, and I look back at that now, and if he was, I can't tell you how many letters I've written to this man in heaven, right?
I bet.
But up until April, I did not have a good, honorable respect for people that are in pain when they say they're in pain. You and I have gone through a healing journey where pain has been our number one enemy. But here's what I want to say before the break. Despite that, somewhere along the way, we learned how to stay vibrant, how to stay purposeful, and how to look for alternative solutions. When we come back, we're going to share what that journey is like. How can you stay vibrant? How can you stay in that place? You know, stay vibrant, stay frosty, stay lively, stay purposeful, regardless of a diagnosis, regardless of what might be going on in your body, and allow yourself to step into the world of possibility. I did. I met Lou, and what I learned saved my life, and so did all of you. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, you're listening to Vibrant Purposeful Living, Lou Paradise. This is his fabulous show. This is Lou Paradise that I've been so eager to introduce all of you to. And the reason I'm eager to do it, it's kind of twofold. One, you're going to hear what his healing journey is, but what happens when you take Vibrant Purposeful Living, Lou Paradise, the entire team that has helped create a platform so we can live pain-free? What happens when you bring that to the world? And what happens when you do that before anybody else in the market is doing it? But more importantly, it provides solutions that we're not talking enough about today. Right now, you could go to louparadise.com, take a look at what Lou is creating, and there's much more to come here. But more importantly, this show is to bring you real solutions to live a vibrant, purposeful life. Lou, I'm telling you, I love working with you. I'm so glad that you all made a decision to start this journey again with us. And I'll share a little bit more about how meeting you saved my life. But what about you? How much pain were you in? I mean, what kind of pain does somebody have to be in order to create something like Topricin?
You know, and it's one of the things, too, that oftentimes you find the people who with the most passion and enthusiasm about something that they needed to create, a necessity. The invention comes as a result of the mother of necessities of everything that we do, oftentimes prompts people to find solutions for things that really got their life turned upside down, and they came out with something that actually changed the complexion of their lives and shared it with the world. And that's kind of my story. So one of the things for me, being in the military had a tremendous effect. I'm a very mission-driven person. The Marine Corps, a lot of people don't realize Marine Corps culture is that, you don't want to back us into a combat situation because we're well-trained. But the culture of the Marine Corps says, how many people don't have to die? If we're really good at understanding the magnitude of what our responsibility is and life in our hands and people that should be counted. After all, we're going into a dark, deep situation. Combat circumstances, nobody wants to be in them. Wars have never really made a whole lot of sense. Are there people out there that we needed to engage in that kind of a situation? Well, the answer, of course, is yes. What we've been doing for the last 20 or so years, harder to examine, yet the dedication for every person who's in the Army or the Navy or the Marine Corps, every person who might have been involved in the Coast Guard, or looking at how the processes work in terms of the kind of people that say, look, I'm going to go into a situation where I may lose my life, but I'm willing to do it and sign up for it because it's the right thing to do. And in helicopter combat duty with a 3-minute life expectancy, this shouldn't be front in your mind, because if it is, then you'll never be able to do your duty. So you get banged up pretty good. You get the physical thing that takes place, the physical demands, the mental, emotional demands of seeing fellow soldiers, especially in the Marine Corps, seeing other Marines injured or worse, getting people off of a beach, getting them off the side of a mountain, getting them out of the ocean, a pilot that's gone in and is dazed and not conscious, or getting them out of the cockpit, getting them off a beach. All of those things require a specific mental attitude, a very tough mental attitude. And it also requires an incredible physical strengthened foundation of your own physical body. You're still going to pay the price major. When you think of all those things, including the fact that we rescued 1,700 Vietnamese civilians in the worst monsoon season they had there in 90 years, which is a blessing to us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. 1,700 little ones. They were either infants literally to 7 or 8 years old and or elders. There were no in between, because they were either in one part of the Army or another part of the Army, whatever the case may be. When you see those beautiful people and you see them, and the plane is buffeted all over the place. The canopy is, you can hardly, going through the jungle, you can hardly see what's underneath you. You're getting lowered down with the hoist to go down, and you're looking at these beautiful people who need to be rescued now. Raging floodwaters around them on thatched roofs, floating on debris, and you're going along through the jungle, picking people up. 1,700 of those folks in 2 days on the Marine Corps birthday, November 10th and 11th. And it was such a blessing for us to see their faces. If you ever look, including people that, are military folks who we rescued, overrun positions. If you see somebody who thought a minute ago they were going to die, then all of a sudden a hand reaches out and grabs them and lifts them up to safety and getting them back to the processes of now regaining, living their life, the most amazing blessing on the planet forever. And during that time, I had a lot of injuries, stretching, hyperextended injuries in my hands and my elbows, nerve-related damage, had no idea that that was going on. We were too busy rocking and rolling, staying alive, and keeping everything moving forward. And by the time I got out of the Marine Corps, it started to add up and to the point where my pain felt like I was sticking my fingers into an electrical socket. I had realized, I have a physiology and natural medicines background, so I realized that I had damaged the median nerves in my hands that was causing this, it felt like, Pat, literally, that somebody, it was like my nerves were rubber.
I know.
Pulled out here and then snapped back into position. I'd never experienced pain like that, right? It's the same thing like for you. My life got turned upside down. I didn't like it very much, to say the least. And I didn't take pharmaceuticals then. I don't take them now. And I thought about it, so all this research I've been doing on natural medicine and physiology and healing and microcirculation and lymphatics. Oh my God Almighty, this was actually for me to cure something for myself so I wouldn't have to suffer. And then I realized this is how people actually suffer. Just like you, I had no idea that this is what pain and or suffering was really like. And I thought to myself, look, I came off a pretty cool mission, an important mission, helping a whole lot of people. I'm on a new mission. I'm on the mission that, and the war is the battle for against pain or suffering more sexually and side effects. And we got to win those. And we've been winning the battle for those by one person at a time for 24 years. So my intuition kicked in. I realized that maybe I was going to invent something that never got invented before, wasn't even and actually occurred, that it actually happened. Cured myself in 6 months. I went from trying to sleep in a chair without being able to lay down in bed, to getting up, kicking up my heels, going out there, doing the stuff I love, handing out some of the samples that I made to other people, thinking, I'm just going to help a couple of more people. I didn't even think about a business or I'm going to go and do more stuff or any of that kind of stuff. And getting these incredible reports back from people about how their moms and dads, their grandmas, their grandpas, their brothers and sisters who suffer forever, they put the stuff on. And one of the grandmothers called our guys and said, in Italian, she was speaking to him, and he couldn't understand her because she was like half crying on the phone. He thought, oh my God, maybe my grandpa died or something.
Yeah.
And to find out she didn't even realize for 2 weeks that she felt so much better. She started to get back to crocheting and knitting and cooking, and she forgot to take her pain medication, and she didn't even realize it. And she was like realizing, oh my God, God just gave me a miracle. Well, that's who did give the miracle, not Lou. And the products, so there we are. So, and it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have met you. And if it hadn't been for that, a lot of changes for your life couldn't have had, just like for mine.
Right.
Because I could have gone down the slippery slope of pain relievers and opiates and whatever else you want to call them. And there we are, kind of a thumbnail sketch.
So let's talk about this as it connects to Vibrant Purposeful Living.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe there are some people, I just don't know many of them, that can have pain in their body and live a vibrant, purposeful life. Now, you and I learned something. We learned that we can be vibrant and purposeful on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so that doesn't get away from us. Now, for me, started this in 2003, 6 months later, April 1st of 2004, in a day, my entire life changed. The mystery disease, as it was called. Yeah. And I went on a journey. But while everybody's trying to figure the dang thing out, come on, I want to sleep at night, right? And what I love about the gift of that is the only thing that I could do, only was this radio show and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for airtime. They wanted to have me committed. I'm pretty sure you how many people said to you, Lou, dude, get a real job? They're pretty much laughing now, I think.
Oh boy.
but here's what it is. We got brought together, and we didn't come together for you and me. The consciousness out there said, we have to have a different solution. You got to help
Exactly.
us. And this is before the fancy word, fibromyalgia,
Mhm.
pain. This was before a lot of words, Lyme disease, right? Pain.
Yep.
Nothing
Yep.
more painful right now than that thing going on right there, but that's another show.
Sure.
Uh, but here's what I love. We all are skeptics until we're not.
Mhm. That's right.
Your generosity and the way you've approached the public, all in the spirit of living a vibrant, purposeful life, comes from not just what you just shared, but doesn't it come from all the people that have said to you, Lou, my life is now changed for the good? And that's what this message is about. Don't let your pain hold you back.
Exactly. Exactly. And that vibrance of our connection, we're wired to be connected as human beings. When people feel alone and they start thinking of deep, dark thoughts, the emotional, spiritual damage that it does, talking about pain, physical is one thing, emotional pain, suffering is a whole other thing. And when we connect with somebody, it affirms or reaffirms for us our own vibrant sense of why we want to live a vibrant, purposeful life. And it touches the life of other people because we have the keys to the answer. They have this blueprint to the answer that affects everybody's life. And if it wasn't for people all along the way, considering how we slugged it out to keep this business alive for all these years we've been at this, right? I mean, most people have no idea.
They don't. I mean, I didn't even know there was like a thing called a sponsor. So nobody told me that like people may want to help support the show.
Exactly.
Why did it take 5 years for somebody to turn that light bulb on? Look, sometimes I'm a little slow when it comes to stuff like that, but I'm never short on passion and purpose.
There you go. And see, in that passion of wanting, knowing it's unfair, it's an injustice that we're in this state of flux. We don't like that, so we fight. So it's the difference in us is we don't cave. We will not cave into the negative. We will, in fact, negatives are just positives waiting to happen. We take the challenge, because truly, when everybody lived through a challenging moment, we may not have liked it at the time, but what did it tell us? Hey, look, challenges or problems, if you want to call them that, or whatever crisis is just opportunity. Decides on how confident we are in wanting to live our vibrant, purposeful life, because that's what we're owed. It's our birthright to live. We should not be born to suffer from pain and think we can't do anything about it and think we got to suck down a bunch of opiates and narcotic products or other chemicals that are going to kill us from the inside out. Alcohol, all of it.
Pop that in there.
All of those things that make it possible for us to know that perception is so strong that that's what we should be doing, that as opposed to, well, wait a minute, if I've got a problem, look, how many people we know spend more time shopping the service centers for the right oil to put in the engine of their car and don't think twice about the stuff that somebody told you, well, you just do this.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute, why should I do that, Doc? Well, because I just said you should do it, and that's my recommendation. So go off and just do it. And perception as well, if the doctor said it. And how many doctors do we know? What did they do? They went out there, they busted their chops, they put a whole lot of debt on themselves to do what? To come out and help people. And yet their tools to help people are medical processes. We think of medical doctors that they know all these things that are part of the natural living, physiology, biology. Doctors aren't taught any of that stuff. They're taught pathology, for goodness sakes, the horizontal patient, not the vertical patient. So we wind up in a perception that we already start off with not having the information to unlock what's in us to enjoy that vibrant, purposeful life you were meant and born to live. That really is the difference. And you and I are both examples of that.
Yeah.
Because, right? And that's why when we can provide people a solution, the educational forum, the knowledge base, all this experience that I've had over decades, just like for you, of here's how we unlock it, here's how we unravel it. Where do you start, for goodness sakes? Half the battle is knowing where to start. And my life transformed other people's lives, but their lives had continued to transform my life as well, to continue to give me the sense that we are on track and on the vital side of what we need to do to make sure we're part of the voices now collectively getting bigger that guarantee that all of us are going to live a far more vibrant, purposeful life if we just know how to do it. And we just know where our problems are and how to fix them. And the answers to those and the problems that we have to fix are not quite as big, or the answers to the problems we have to fix are not quite as big as you think they are. And that's the difference between what we have to offer in solutions and education and real discussions and dialogue and going out there and just doing it and showing folks how to do it so they can do the same thing.
I love what you're talking about because I've had so many angels along the way that have helped me. And, one day I did several shows just talking about those angels, and you're one of them. I'd be remiss not mentioning at the same time two other people that came along side by side with you, Dr. Nusheen Darvish of Holistic. And I love what she's doing now. She's got a whole separate Center for Chronic Illness, and Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, reinventing ourselves now as a business of delivering services to the home. Oh, what? Is that a new idea? No. But isn't it interesting? Because I wasn't one of those people that pulled out my special energy medallion or Topricin. No. But I learned the night that I put on, not mentioning names, the night that I put on that stuff on my skin, several parts of my body, lightly wrapped it, went to bed, took 4 of those little tablets that you can get in right off the shelf, 4 of them, popped them in, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and I looked like a burn victim. Where that I put that stuff on had absorbed into my skin, and my body was red, solid red.
Yeah.
Now, you call them and they say that's normal. Your intuition and God sense says, oh, honey, there ain't nothing normal about making your skin red.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. But here's the thing. A lot of times we hear, Lou, I can be vibrant and purposeful when I'm up, when I'm doing a show with you, when you're out talking to people, when you're at trades, but when we go to bed, that's when the pain demon really comes out. And there's not much out there except for what you all have created that you can put on your skin at night to whatever amount you like. Is glob it on there like I did, wrap it gently so it doesn't end up all over your sheets where you want it on your body, and wake up the next day. And in my case, my inflammation is down. There is no redness, and I don't wake up with pain. That's miraculous to me.
And the most beautiful thing about that gift and that expression is the gift of this life. All those analgesic products, unfortunately, and with all respect to them, all they do is provides a superficial, literally a superficial burn. But if you wrap it, it'll get even worse. And it's like, okay, why in the heck would we, and still not getting the relief that you are looking for, because none of them have any curative power whatsoever, right? And I think that what takes place in this, and talking about going back to the sleep part, how many people do we know that are not getting enough sleep, especially if they have fibromyalgia or neuropathic issues, diabetic neuropathy, chemo-induced neuropathy, and not getting to sleep because the pain is a killer at night with neuropathic and nerve-related pain, right? I mean, we've had people say, Lou, before I started to use Topricin, whether it be the foot product or the original, my feet were killing me to such a degree. I have diabetes, I have neuropathy, that I couldn't literally put a sheet on my feet at night because it would hurt too much. Imagine. And so what we...
Yeah, no, that's
right?
true. No,
Right?
that's really true. And now think about where we were. Now go that pain 10 times to really demonstrate the population in America alone, United States of America, is experiencing pain that they're not sure where that thing came from, a lot of names for it, and are not able to get relief. And I'm talking about what you talked about, the whole numbness thing.
Yeah.
My hands were so not able to be used that I locked myself in the bathroom. This is before now I take my cell phone. but I couldn't turn the doorknob, right?
Yeah.
And when you think about that, I'm not unusual. So many people are really sucking it up and trying to live their lives. You're coming here and we're talking about this show and the whole series we're doing. You don't have to settle for that. We can live a vibrant, purposeful life. And what your show is doing, we're going to adjust the body, we're going to adjust the mind, and we're going to adjust the spirit. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because these are the places where all of the things that are living and breathing within the framework of our peace, our love, our happiness, the ability to do this for other people, to be able to love and care about other people, can happen when your life is so disruptive, and worse, when you feel you're alone and you feel you have no answers. That's when things get hopeless. When people get hopeless, it's like, okay, stick a fork in there. Nobody should ever live to think there's no hope. If we can't restore hope by getting people back to their peace, and one of the things for sure that most of the people have said to us is, the peace that I have, the peace of mind I have, was knowing I could actually do something. Tarperson showed me I could do something to help myself. I wasn't taken by my doctors or my pharmacist helped me get weaned off of whatever medication I might have been on that wasn't helping me, was making me crazy, giving me brain fog, especially those folks with fibromyalgia.
And Lyme
Lyme's disease. And the misdiagnosis of all those things, and finally getting a good night's rest. I had the peace knowing I had to get to my peace before I can get to the fix. When I got to my peace, I realized every answer to every question was inside of me, and that you were showing me, Lou, thank you, how to get that done. And, to me, it's like that rescue thing. When you rescue somebody out of a burning building, or out of, firefighters,
anything.
or out of any kind of thing, who's rescuing who?
Yeah.
Your arm is out there rescuing them, and didn't they just rescue you? Because you feel like, oh my God, I now know and understand this is such an important part of helping all of our brothers and sisters to come to a new way of looking at a vibrant, purposeful living. And doesn't everybody deserve that? To be able, right, and come, and these are all the principal parts that, we're talking about, that got us to the point where we had those challenges and came right back and said, wait a minute, we're not going to put up with this. And like you said, from the beginning, how many families are sitting around with somebody who's suffering? They don't have that experience, and they're saying, how in the heck could you be suffering that way? Kind of angry, because they're angry because they feel helpless. And that person now feels alone and feels worthless. And all of those things add up to worthless, hopeless, gone. And we do not want that. There's too many people out there in that boat. We got to get that boat a new sail, a new engine, put some cool navigation in there.
That's right.
Get them sailing to the island. They want to go onto the beach and then celebrate their life by having something that is amazing with the people they care about. That's what living a vibrant, purposeful life is. And anything that denies you, and we know the secrets, and we know the mechanics of how to unravel that, get you back to doing what it is that makes sure your life is vibrant, purposeful, and you're living it robust, kicking up your heels, going out there and boogieing to your favorite music and all the things, right? All the things that we were born to do. Anything less than that, unacceptable, and we ain't gonna have it. We're gonna kick that thing to the curb, right? And we're gonna make it real and do it together. And that's the point.
Yeah, Lou, one of the things that I absolutely just got a hit on was, I really want to mention something when you talk about rescue. The greatest gift that I was given from God, the universe, came in the form of the best listening audience on the planet from day one, 15 years ago.
There you go.
Our listeners, by far, are the most courageous, the most vibrant, the most purposeful, even when they call into the show with something, a question, a problem. They are the core essence of what kept me every day vibrant, looking forward to doing the show, to bringing folks on like you, inspiring me to do better and do more to reach them. And then this amazing team that I work with that came along. Once upon a time, it was just me. And then when you and I
Yeah.
first met, it was just me and you. And then it was just like you, me, and Linda, right? They
Exactly.
joke about Linda now. I sent out an email this morning and I said, wait a minute, before you guys say anything, Linda used to do all y'all's jobs, right?
Hallelujah.
From
Hallelujah.
Jersey. Uh, but these are the people. This listening audience right here, Facebook Live, or on any one of our channels and networks, even live, or 2-3 weeks from now, they'll be listening to the podcast, maybe a week from now. They are the people that absolutely fill this network with unprecedented, limitless energy and vision. And that's why you and I are here. All of the
Absolutely.
people, right?
You know, and I want to say that that's why, to me, it's such a privilege, it's such an honor and a pleasure to know that these incredible people who have inspired all of us, it's the same exact thing in our lives. We're going along, banging it out in the very beginning, getting the product out there and slugging it out, trying to figure out where the next nickel was going to come from. How are we going to keep the lights on? I mean, for real. How are we going to pay anybody to come to work because we're doing, the packing, the shipping, the service, the sales, going on and calling on accounts, the whole 9 yards. And those stories would flood in. And the testimonials, oh my God, I got my life back. Oh my God, you have no idea what you've done for me. I always remind people if they think we saved their lives, please thank God for saving their life, because that's who saves their life. That's who saves all of us. But that story, that encouragement, and this audience very specifically, and I was always so delighted and happy of making what contribution I could to this very audience, this vibrant, amazing, purposeful living audience, breathing and doing and encouraging by participating, by asking the questions. How many times we thank audiences to say, thank you so much for the people who call in and ask the question that's on everyone else's mind, right? So this way we can have that discussion and everyone else can hear the answer to that question.
Yeah.
I mean, just...
we're going to go to break, but let's talk about this. I remember one day I was at my worst. It was 2008. And one of our listeners called in and asked a question and said, I am at the worst I've ever been in my life. And my husband I think it was partner, and my partner is leaving me. And I'm on air and I'm going through the same thing. I'm going through the same thing. You're going through the pain of what you're going through. And you've been there for this other person. And now when you're at your worst, they're leaving. They're called to be alone. When we come back, we're going to talk about what Lou Paradise is bringing to the table in conversation. And we are not going to leave any stone unturned. For those of you that are in pain, emotional and otherwise, this radio series Lou is doing, we're going to get to it all. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Go to louparadise.com. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Listen, we are launching. Oh my God, it doesn't even sound right to say that. Lou has been launching all of his life, but we're bringing him his message, his show to our platform, 90 channels, all of the above, AM, FM. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the message of vibrant, purposeful living. And for those of you out there, just go check it out. Go to louparadise.com. If you have missed any part of this, right there on his media page, you can listen to it again. Go to iTunes, download the podcast, all of the above. But most importantly, tap into what Lou is doing. We also have his phone number on the website, way to contact him, because you've heard a lot during this show. And you're going to have questions. Maybe you didn't call in, but here's what I want you to know. If you give Lou a call, you're going to get some answers. But also, in the tradition of generosity, as my friend has always done, we got some giveaways for people. So for the first 10 people that either call into the show or send me an email or post on Facebook Live, we are going to give you a free sample of what the heck we're talking about here today, Topperson, right?
There you
Or
go.
we can, send Lou to your house and give you a free sample of Lou. No, no, we can't do that.
Tougher to do, but we'd love that one.
Oh, yeah, no, man, I don't want Aurora calling me on that one. So here's what I'd like everybody to do. Our toll-free number, 1-800-930-2819. Or in Facebook Live, just type in your comment and say, I heard it through Lou. So from Lou to you, please send me my product. If you send an email in, you can send it to info@drpatshow.com. If you're calling in right now, 1-800-930-2819. Benny, get ready. And one more thing. Please go to topperson.com. And how do they put in the coupon? How do you want them to do that, Lou?
There's an ad code in on the site. They just put in the promo code LOU, L-O-U, and as simple as that. And they and you'll get 30% off. Actually, I believe that's what it is.
Whoa!
And yeah.
So it's like from Lou to you.
Lou to you.
Go in, and I always type the code in. You go to topperson.com, TOPRICIN.com, and you go over there, pick out what you want, go to your checkout. And like it's going to say, what's your code? You're going to say Lou.
Exactly. There you go. Simple as that.
I'm so happy you kept it short. Yeah. And for those of you right now, 1-800-930-2819, give us a call. Benny will take down your information and we will get back to you. So what we need is your phone number, your email, so Lou can contact you and know where to send it, because we don't want to take Benny's time. We just want him to answer the phones. All right, Lou, we talked about a lot. Last segment, what I would like to talk with you about is what can people look forward to in each show that we do? What are you most excited? What will you bring forward for us to help us create a vibrant, purposeful life?
I think the most important thing that we're going to absolutely deliver and guarantee to deliver is hope that they're going to really find the information they need, just like everybody. We've been doing this a long time. It's been decades of our experience with people to get somebody who's in a state of flux. They don't know what to do. They're in a bind, or they just don't want to continue. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're going to show everybody, going to explain to everybody exactly where to start, how to unravel, Topperson has changed the complexion of many things that people have experienced later, because once you use Topperson, you're going to be able to, if you're working with your doctor, your pharmacist, which you should do if you're on scripted meds, the opportunity to get to maybe half dosages or even get weaned off, depending on that discussion with a doctor and a pharmacist, your brain fog will start clearing. You'll start to be able to get a lot more faculty back. Your internal mechanism, your digestive system, everything is going to start improving. You're going to feel better. You're going to get a better night's sleep. You're going to sleep like a baby, in fact, guaranteed. And you're going to be able to know how to get that done. So Topperson changes a lot of things right up front, and then you provide you the resources with all the other information step by step on your specific area of what you should now do to help yourself, both nutritionally, both from a hydration point of view, maybe even supplementation, which we are, we have a lot of things that we can do, simple, basic things that can change the complexion of your life. A script kind of, you want to have a script, the script for your life that goes from where you are now to where you want to be, and living that vibrant, purposeful life that you are born to live.
And, one of the things I want to say, when folks go to topperson.com, and there'll be some information on louparadise.com, I really want to encourage people to look at what other people have said. Don't take our word for it.
Exactly.
Right? Go look at what other people have said, whether it's an athlete that you may be familiar with or people just like you and me. Please go out and take a look at what folks are saying. The other thing in future shows that I want everybody to know about is that we're going to really address some of the tough issues. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. We touched upon opioids, but that is a conversation that requires an hour to fully understand what it is and what can be done. What are you most excited about?
I'm excited that we have a bigger platform to get this vibrant message, the vibrant, purposeful living message out there, that people can find that, oh my God, I can actually get better. My hope and my peace of mind can be restored. My life, along with what I know now, can help my family or people we know, my colleagues, my friends, my aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, grandma, grandpa, that can help my family. And the thing to me that's most exciting, to develop all of these champions for purposeful life, all of these folks that are advocates, that we can all come together as a community and solve so many more of the world's issues, especially when it comes to looking at sustainable healthcare. We have a sick care model, not a healthcare model. We have to help, right? We're the ones that have to figure out the components to put that back into everyone's hands and everybody's life to live the kind of life they really want to live. To me, that's just the most exciting thing, that we're on that next chapter of getting far more people with this technology that allows us to reach more people, and to reach more people who have that same experience that you and I have had, to come out of that muck and mire into something where you can smile and feel good and go out there and kick up your heels and boogie to your favorite music. I love that. I love that part.
Well, and this is all part of us looking at solutions that you're not going to be able to find without having a conversation.
That's right.
There's so much going on about Googling, and you can find these little bits and sound bites. But what's really hard to find is stories and storytelling and the message in that. And to provide that, not just about where we are today and what we're doing, but what we're talking about is how to connect the dots. We're going to be bringing guests onto the show, people that have examples that they can give that we can all live by, all of the above. But most importantly, this isn't about you and me.
That's right.
This is about the folks out there that have so reached out to us, and they're really expecting us to respond. And I really feel a responsibility for that, and have for 15 years.
Oh, absolutely. This is an obligation. This is a mission. It's kind of almost a ministry, really, of understanding that we've been given this blessing of being able to be leaders and thought leaders and innovative thinkers, working through our own issues that solved a pain problem or a life-changing process problem that we both kicked. And part of it, the answer to part of it was Topperson. We both have the same experience, basically, of what changed our lives. What catalyst do we need? What tools did we have that we didn't have before? Well, Topperson provided that answer. And we are obligated. We are blessed to be in that position. I never could have imagined, Pat, for the life of me, that the kind of pain that I had, and I'm one of those people that pain, so what? You're still alive, keep on trucking. What the heck is that? Nerve pain, suffering, a whole other thing.
Yeah.
And I never thought anything good could come from that. But look, if it wasn't for that, there would be no Topperson. Here's what would be worse for me right now. If there wasn't no Topperson, I wouldn't have met you, my dear friend, and all of the things that are sincerely part of who we are as people. We're on a destiny run to help other people live their destiny, to get rid of all that baggage, not look in the rearview mirror, or worse, not look in the muddle they're in, and know that there's some hope. That true, vibrant hope in living a purposeful life isn't just some catchy phrase. We wouldn't do that to anybody. This
No.
is like, let's just call attention to the fact that you want to live a life that's vibrant, purposeful, and meaningful, loving, caring, genuine, and physically like, oh my goodness gracious, right? That's on the other side of where you are right now. That's what we're telling everybody, because that is the truth. That's exactly what happened to us. And we could show everyone how we did it and how they can do it.
And the impossible becomes the possible. And, the listeners probably have heard me talk more than they want to hear me talk about the fact that I've started playing table tennis again. And I did. I started it a couple of years ago. And if you've watched how I prepare myself in terms of dress and where I put the toppers in and what I put it on and how I put it on, it is one of the reasons that I'm able to even play. And that I never thought that I'd ever be able to play again. Something I really love, right?
Wow.
Now, just a plug. Now I know that table tennis, better known as ping pong, is now used. There is something called Alzheimer's ping pong therapy because it rewires the brain faster than just about anything you can do. And we'll talk more about that because
Wow.
It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, you're not going to be able to hold that paddle if you're in pain.
That's right.
Lou, one last question.
Sure.
I love what we're doing together. We actually may have to do more shows than we planned because we just got a lot to say. Please give out information again, but more importantly, I want to know your personal message. I want to know what you want to leave us with here today.
My message is everybody deserves to have a life they were meant to live. They do not and should not ever have believed that they have to live in pain and suffering, emotional, physical, spiritual, and that there's nothing that they could do about it. They have to suffer the consequence of oral meds or whatever it is that may be the case, or negative things that have been happening that they think they have to live with. No one should ever have to live that way. We all deserve to have a life of loving, caring, respect, compassion, peace of mind, happiness, harmony, so everybody shares the joy of living our lives. After all, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is our life. Every moment, we should make it count. We should never let anything rob us from that moment. And we all deserve to have something that matters most to us in being respected, being appreciated, being valued, and being loved unconditionally. And that is my message to everybody today and always.
And you and I are very fortunate. We are surrounded by an incredible team of people. I think about Carter, who's running this, Benny, Jessica, who has stepped in and has masterminded our entire technology. I think about our folks out in the field that are finding and seeing and meeting new people that want to support the vibrant, purposeful message. I think about Kim, can whip out a banner in no time. Rob, Marsha, Megan, Chris, and Linda. And there's a reason that you have the team you have, Elizabeth, Aurora, all the people at Topperson, anybody that shows up, your partners. They want to create a better world as you and I do. Thank you, my friend.
And thanks back to you. All the love and blessings to all the people you care about most, because you do deserve every rich blessing coming your way for everything you've done and everything you continue to do. I am privileged and honored to be a part and for us to have this launch of what I think is going to be a phenomenal transformational radio platform in vibrant, purposeful living, and doing it with you. That is the coolest thing in the world. So
I just got a text message. They want to know where I play ping pong. Okay. Saturday mornings up in Everett. There we go. Please don't fly in from out of town. Thank you, Lou Paradise. Everybody go to the website, louparadise.com. I'm Dr. Pat. Go to the drpatshow.com. And for all of you, vibrant, purposeful living is your birthright. We'll see you next time.